Beginning with updates from the Israel-Hamas war, Israel and Hamas have agreed to extend the temporary ceasefire by at least one more day. The announcement came minutes before the six-day truce was due to expire. Israel has said that as part of the agreement, more hostages will be released. That's in exchange for Palestinian prisoners. Israel is committed to increasing and sustaining the supply of humanitarian aid to Gaza. This is according to Israeli President Issac Herzog. Herzog visited the Nitzana crossing on the Israel-Egypt border yesterday. Trucks containing food, water, shelter equipment and medical supplies were stationed before the crossing. They were due to enter Gaza. Tensions continue to escalate in the West Bank amid the Israel-Hamas war. 2 Palestinian children have been killed in the region. The Palestinian Health Ministry has blamed Israeli forces of shooting of the boys. However, the Israel army has not commented on the raid. Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has taken shots against Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu once again. Erdogan said that Netanyahu will be remembered in history as quote-unquote the butcher of Gaza. He said this during a Turkish parliament session. Erdogan added that anyone who supported Netanyahu unconditionally were to be blamed equally. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Tel Aviv once again. This is Blinken's third visit to the Israeli city since the war with Hamas began. He is there to discuss boosting humanitarian aid into the Gaza Strip. During his latest visit, Blinken is also expected to visit the West Bank. He will likely meet with Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas during the visit. In other news, former United States Secretary of State Henry Kissinger has died. The former American diplomat passed away at the age of 100 at his home in the US state of Connecticut. Nobel laureate Kissinger was one of the most influential and controversial diplomats of the 20th century. He was involved in the negotiation of the Paris Peace Accords with North Vietnam. Peru's Constitutional Court has restored the pardon of ex-President Alberto Fujimori. Fujimori was convicted of human rights abuses and corruption, for which he was earlier pardoned. However, his pardon was annulled last year, and following the ruling, supporters of the former president showed their support by gathering outside a prison. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba joined a meeting of NATO foreign ministers in Brussels yesterday. During the meet, Kuleba called for a greater alignment of Ukraine's and NATO's defense industries. This is to ensure that Kiev has the supply it needs to defeat Russia. Russian forces have taken control of a village in eastern Ukraine's war-torn Donetsk region. This is according to Russia's defense ministry. Russia has taken over Kromov, which it calls Artomovsk. The village is on the western outskirts of Bakhmut. Reports say it had a pre-war population of 1,000 people. A US military aircraft carrying 6 people crashed into the sea in western Japan yesterday. One crew member was killed in the incident. Search and rescue operations are underway for the remaining people on board. An eyewitness said the aircraft's left engine appeared to be on fire. This was while it approached an airport for an emergency landing. North Korea has said it will never negotiate its sovereignty with the United States. Kim Yo-jong, the sister of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, has criticized Washington as quote-unquote double-faced. She has called out the US for its double standards at this week's meeting of the UN Security Council. The meeting discussed North Korea's recent launch of its first spy satellite. The US Justice Department has charged an Indian man called Nikhil Gupta. This is for allegedly plotting to kill an Indian-origin US citizen. The US did not name the citizen. However, this comes after an earlier report said that there was a bid to kill Gurpatwant Singh Pannoon in the US. India identifies Pannoon as a Khalistani terrorist. The US has also sent two of its top officials to India. This is to urge officials to start an investigation into the matter. A Pakistan court has overturned the conviction of former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif in a corruption case. In 2018, Sharif was convicted on corruption charges in a case linked to his family's purchase of upscale London flats. For this, he was sentenced to 10 years in jail. However, the latest ruling overturns that sentence. This removes one of the many obstacles for Sharif to qualify to stand in the elections to be held in February. Jailed former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan has named a temporary party head. Barrister Gohar Khan has been nominated as the chairman of the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf or PTI. Imran Khan's party needs a new chairman to hold the intra-party election scheduled for the 2nd of December. This is to elect a new party chairman and other office bearers.
I'm speechless.
As the COP28 summit kicks off in Dubai, President of the UN General Assembly called for the urgency of funding arrangements for landlocked and island nations to have a chance at fighting the climate crisis. Detailing the messages he will be taking to the summit, Dennis Francis added that it is important to keep the goal of 0.5 degrees for the rise of global temperature. Scientists of the Nippon Foundation Nectar Ocean Census Alliance have issued a warning to world leaders at COP28, emphasizing the urgency to take action against climate change to prevent marine species and their habitats from going extinct. The alliance aims to discover and protect thousands of new marine species in the next decades. The scientists underscored the race against time to prevent loss of species due to global warming. United Arab Emirates, which is the host of the COP28 summit, is pushing for countries across the world to make CO2 carbon dioxide capturing technologies central to their climate strategies. UAE's oil giant Abu Dhabi National Oil Company will launch a pilot project in Fujairah for carbon capture and mineralization technology to test collection of CO2 from the atmosphere. At the COP28, UAE also hopes to sell the vision of a low-carbon future that includes fossil fuels instead of shunning them, as the world is set to shatter another record for the hottest year in 2023. While hundreds of Catholic institutions globally are divesting from fossil fuels to combat climate change, in the United States, where about a quarter of the population is Catholic, not a single diocese shows signs of relinquishing fossil fuel assets. According to reports, dioceses in the United States have significant holdings in fossil fuel companies. Some dioceses are also leasing land to drillers, further entrenching their ties to the fossil fuel companies. This contrasts with the global trend of Catholic institutions aligning with Pope Francis's call to divert from oil, gas, and coal. Australia's National Council for Fire and Emergency Services has issued a warning over threat of bushfires to areas that burnt during the 2019-2020 fires. The council says these areas could be under threat again next summer. Experts say record dry conditions and above average temperatures are likely to continue into 2024. Australia is at an increased risk of bushfires due to the El Nino weather pattern and climate change and exacerbated weather extremes. Flash floods triggered by heavy rain inundated roads and homes in Australia's New South Wales state. Footage shows the destruction of the Mogo Bridge and residents preparing sandbags to protect their properties. The emergency services expressed concerns over the forecast of thunderstorm and supercells in the northeast part of the state. The rain conditions are expected to ease in the coming days. On to business and tech news. Microsoft will take a non-voting observer position on OpenAI's board. This was announced by Sam Altman in his first official communication after his return to the firm as its CEO. An observer position means Microsoft representative will be able to attend OpenAI's board meetings and access confidential information. However, they will not have the voting rights on any company decisions. Walt Disney's chief executive Bob Iger has said that he will definitely step down from his position in 2026. Iger made the comments at a media summit. In 2022, Iger returned to Disney as its CEO. That was less than a year after his retirement. During the summit, Iger also said that Disney's ABC unit was not up for sale. However, earlier this year, Iger had said networks like ABC may not be core to Disney's business going forward. Elon Musk hurls slurs at advertisers that have fled his social media platform X. In an interview, Musk delivered profanity-laced remarks at the companies. In recent days, companies like Apple, Disney and IBM suspended their advertising campaigns on the platform. That was after Elon Musk agreed to an anti-Semitic post on X. However, during the interview, he profusely apologized for publishing the post. The global economy will slow slightly next year. Global growth is set to moderate from 2.9% this year to 2.7% in 2024. This is according to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. However, the Paris-based organization added that the risk of a hard landing has subsided. Meanwhile, inflation in Germany eased more than expected in November. Statistics showed that inflation in the European country fell to 2.3%. This is better than what analysts had expected. It is the lowest reading since June 2021. Germany's statistics office said lower energy prices were a key factor in driving down inflation. America's United Auto Workers Union is launching a first-of-its-kind push. This is to organize the entire non-union auto sector in the US. UAW said workers at 13 non-union automakers were announcing simultaneous campaigns across the country to join the union. This will include companies like Tesla, Toyota, Volkswagen, Nissan and BMW. This comes after the union secured a labor deal from the Detroit 3 automakers last month. General Motors has outlined a $10 billion share buyback program. The automaker has also announced that it will increase its quarterly dividend by 33% next year. News of the buybacks helped boost GM's stock price 10% yesterday. Chinese ride-hailing giant Didi Global has offered millions of customers discount coupons. The firm made the offer to apologize for a glitch on its app this week. On Monday, the app had a system malfunction which continued through Tuesday. It left users in many cities unable to book rides. US health insurer Cigna is reportedly in talks to merge with peer Humana, the deal that could exceed $60 billion in value. Cigna and Humana are discussing a stock and cash deal. It is likely to be finalized by the end of the year. A merger would give the combined company a massive scale. It will be able to compete with US health insurance players like United Health Group and CVS Health. London's Heathrow Airport is facing an ownership shake-up. Infrastructure giant Ferrovial has agreed to sell its entire 25% stake in Britain's busiest airport for $3 billion. The Spanish company said the buyers include public equity fund Ardian and Saudi Arabia's public investment fund. Media reports confirmed that the PIF had agreed to buy 10% of the stake. On to the world of sports now. Indian cricketer Virat Kohli has reportedly informed the BCCI that he would not be available for selection in white ball matches for an indefinite period. This effectively rules out Kohli from India's upcoming tour of South Africa and the 3-match T20 international series against Afghanistan in January. According to reports, Kohli has decided to concentrate on red ball cricket as of now and will only play 2 tests in South Africa. New Zealand captain Kane Williamson put up a fine 100 on a slow track in Bangladesh's Sylhet on day 2 of the first test. Williamson's century was the 29th of his test career and brought him at level with Virat Kohli and Sir Donald Bradman. He also became the first New Zealand batter to make hundreds in 4 successive tests. Williamson was the only player from New Zealand to make a 50-plus score in the innings until the close of play on day 2. New Zealand were all out for 317 to lead by 7 runs. After the first innings in the first test against Bangladesh in Sylhet, Tim Southee was the last man dismissed for 35 after he added 52 with Kyle Jameson, who scored 23 for the 9th wicket. The visitors had resumed on 266 for 8 on the third day in reply to Bangladesh's 310. Moving on to the latest from the Champions League, the Red Devils are on the brink of a Champions League exit after a 3-all draw at Galatasaray. United twice let a 2-goal lead slip, leaving them at bottom of Group A. Erik ten Hag's side need to beat Bayern Munich in their final match at Old Trafford to have any chance of qualifying. But even that victory won't be enough if Galatasaray beat FC Copenhagen in 2 weeks' time, or the Danish champions take at least 4 points from their final 2 matches. Real Madrid romped a 4-2 win over Napoli to qualify in first place from their Champions League group. Record 14-time champions Madrid were already through but secured the top spot with an entertaining win over the visiting Italian champions. Simon put Napoli ahead early on. Rodrigo and Bellingham quickly netted to turn the game around. Andre Frank, Zambo and Gucia levelled Napoli just after half-time, but Madrid youngster Nico Paz smashed his team in front after 84 minutes and Joselu wrapped up the win. Arsenal thrashed Lens 6-0 to qualify for the last 16 of the Champions League as Group B winners. Kai Havertz, Gabriel Jesus, Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli and Martin Odegaard all scored in the first half at the Emirates Stadium, and Jorginho added a late penalty. Sevilla crashed out of the Champions League, throwing away a 2-goal lead in a 3-2 defeat by PSV Eindhoven. Sergio Ramos and Youssef En-Nesyri led through goals, but winger Lucas Ocampos was sent off for 2 bookings in 4 minutes, which opened the door for PSV's fight back. The Dutch side silenced the stadium with Saibabari and Goodledge's goals. Orlando Magic ripped Washington Sixers 139-120 to move 1 game behind overall leader Boston Celtics. German forward Franz Wagner's 31-point performance led Orlando to an 8th consecutive victory. The Magic connected on 60.7% of their shots in improving to 13-5 and matching Milwaukee for second in the Eastern Conference behind the Celtics. England rugby captain Owen Farrell has decided to sit out the 2024 Six Nations and take an indefinite break from international rugby to prioritise his mental health. Farrell says he will continue to play for Premiership club Saracens. Farrell has played 112 tests for England and 6 for the British and Irish Lions since making his international debut in 2012. The International Olympic Committee has confirmed the French Alps and Salt Lake City as sole candidates to host the 2030 and 2034 Winter Games. The IOC said Olympic chiefs would now move into targeted dialogue with the 2 candidates. The French bid moved forward at the expense of the other 2 candidates, which were Sweden and Switzerland. Only Salt Lake City in Utah in the United States has launched a bid to host the 2034 Games. In entertainment, singer Taylor Swift has surprised fans by officially releasing a track named You Are Losing Me. The announcement came as a celebration of Swift being named Spotify's Global Top Artist of the Year. Taylor Swift expressed her gratitude to fans and considered it the best birthday and holiday gift. Actor Jonathan Majors' assault lawsuit trial commenced on Thursday. He's facing charges over an alleged domestic dispute with his ex-girlfriend, Grace Bari. The Creed actor pleaded not guilty to the assault and misdemeanor charges. The 34-year-old actor could face up to a year in prison if found guilty. The charges stem from a March incident where Majors allegedly assaulted Jabari physically during a drive to his apartment. Speaking about her newly published poetry book, actor Megan Fox revealed a heart-wrenching experience in an interview. Megan Fox said she suffered a miscarriage with fiancé Machine Gun Kelly. The actress shared that the miscarriage was quote-unquote much harder than she anticipated, despite an ectopic pregnancy she experienced when she was younger. Oscar-winning actor Jennifer Lawrence opened up about her decision to boost her security after welcoming her one-year-old son. In an interview, the actor explained that her feelings towards security changed due to intrusive thoughts and anxiety after becoming a parent. She explained that initially she wanted her security team to feel invisible to her son, but she changed her mind as time progressed. Actor Al Pacino's girlfriend Noor Al-Fallah has shared her perspective on the potential for marriage with the 83-year-old actor. In an interview, she expressed that despite her love for Pacino, she considers herself not the marrying type. This update on their relationship follows a recent legal development where Al Pacino was directed to pay $30,000 monthly in child support after reaching a custody agreement. The couple welcomed their son Roman in June this year. Barbie's production team clarified that they did not cause a global shortage of pink paint. Production designer Sarah Greenwood explains that her comment to a magazine about the world running out of pink paint was meant as an off-the-cut remark. She elaborates that the shortage wasn't due to their project, but because pink wasn't in widespread use before the request of 200 liters of pure pigment. Despite challenges, the team managed to find pink paint from various sources, dispelling the notion that they caused a global scarcity. The official trailer for Peacock's upcoming Ted series has been released. The trailer provides a glimpse into the 1990s high school adventures of Ted the Bear and his best friend John Bennett. A few scenes show Ted and Bennett navigate through school and indulge in humorous escapes. Set in 1993, the R-rated series features nostalgic elements such as the 1990s music and its fashion. A reality dating series titled Is There Still Sex in the City is under development. According to reports, the reality show draws inspiration from Candace Bushnell's book Sex and the City. The show will feature 4 friends in their 50s seeking a love do-over in a dating utopia. Each episode will present a different group of men, allowing the women to explore various romantic possibilities. Actor Sebastian Stan is set to portray a young Donald Trump in the upcoming movie The Apprentice. According to reports, the film will also feature Jeremy Strong as Roy Cohn and Maria Bakalova as Ivana Trump. The plotline of the film will be narrated through the story of a mentor and protege. The film will be directed by Iranian filmmaker Ali Abbasi. Journalist Omid Scooby's recent book Endgame, centered on the British royal family, has been temporarily removed from the shelves in the Netherlands. The Dutch translation faced suspension due to what is termed as an error. This issue arises from Meghan Markle's 2021 interview with Oprah Winfrey, addressing concerns about her son Archie's skin color. In a breakthrough, all the 41 workers trapped in a collapsed tunnel in India's Uttarakhand were rescued.